Hi book lovers, welcome to new video. Today we will discuss very famous book of Charles Robert Darwin. Born on February 12, 1809, in Shrewsbury, England, was a naturalist whose groundbreaking work laid the foundation for the theory of evolution by natural selection. Initially studying medicine at the University of Edinburgh, Darwin found himself drawn to natural history, later shifting his focus to theology at Cambridge while nurturing a deep passion for biology and geology. His life took a decisive turn when he embarked on a 5-year voyage 1831 to 1836 aboard HMS Beagle as a self-funded naturalist. This expedition, particularly his observations in the Galapagos Islands and South America, provided the empirical evidence that would later shape his revolutionary ideas. Upon returning, Darwin meticulously analyzed his findings, corresponded with experts, and conducted extensive experiments, slowly developing his theory of evolution. However, aware of the controversial nature of his ideas, particularly in contrast to the prevailing religious and scientific beliefs of his time, he delayed publication for years. It was only when Alfred Russel Wallace, a younger naturalist, independently conceived a similar theory that Darwin was spurred into action. In 1859, he published On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life, commonly referred to as The Origin of Species. The book sold out immediately and sparked intense debate, forever altering humanity's understanding of life's diversity. Darwin's Origin of Species is a meticulously argued case for the theory of evolution through natural selection. The book systematically presents evidence from various fields: geology, embryology, morphology, and biogeography, to demonstrate that species are not fixed but evolve over time from common ancestors. Darwin's argument is structured to first establish the fact of evolution and then explain the mechanism driving it: natural selection. The book begins with an introduction where Darwin outlines his intent to provide a coherent explanation for the origin of species, acknowledging that his theory will challenge long-held beliefs. He then proceeds to discuss variation under domestication, drawing parallels between artificial selection as practiced by breeders and natural selection. By observing how humans selectively breed plants and animals to enhance desirable traits, Darwin argues that a similar, albeit unconscious, process occurs in nature. This analogy helps readers grasp the concept of selection before applying it to wild species. Next, Darwin explores variation under nature, emphasizing that individuals within a species exhibit slight differences. These variations, he argues, are heritable and crucial for evolution. He distinguishes between individual differences, minor variations, and more distinct varieties, which may eventually become new species. This variability is the raw material upon which natural selection acts. The core of Darwin's theory is presented in the chapter Struggle for Existence. Here, he explains Thomas Malthus's principle of population, that organisms reproduce at a rate that would outstrip resources if left unchecked. This leads to competition for survival, not just against predators or harsh conditions but also among members of the same species. Darwin then introduces natural selection, the process by which individuals with advantageous traits are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing those traits to future generations. Over time, these accumulated changes can lead to the emergence of new species. Darwin anticipates objections to his theory, particularly the lack of transitional fossils and the complexity of organs like the eye. He argues that the fossil record is incomplete due to geological processes and that even intricate structures can evolve gradually through slight modifications. He also discusses laws of variation, admitting that the causes of variation are not fully understood, but asserting that heredity plays a key role. Another critical concept is divergence of character, where species branch out from a common ancestor, filling different ecological niches. This explains the tree of life metaphor, a branching pattern of descent rather than a linear hierarchy. Darwin also addresses instinct, showing that behaviors, like physical traits, can evolve. He uses examples like the hive-building instincts of bees to illustrate this point. In later chapters, Darwin tackles hybridism, examining why some species can interbreed while others cannot, and how sterility barriers develop. He also discusses the imperfection of the geological record, acknowledging gaps but arguing that fossil discoveries increasingly support his theory. He then presents biogeographical evidence showing how species distributions, for example, unique island species align with evolutionary predictions rather than special creation. The final chapters reinforce his argument by summarizing evidence from morphology homologous structures, embryology similarities in early development, and rudimentary organs vestigial traits like the human appendix. Darwin concludes by reflecting on the grandeur of his view of life, where endless forms evolve from simple beginnings through natural laws. The origin of species revolutionized biology, providing a unifying framework for understanding life's diversity. Despite initial resistance, Darwin's theory gained overwhelming support as new evidence emerged from genetics, paleontology, and comparative anatomy. His work not only reshaped science but also influenced philosophy, ethics, and theology, challenging humanity's perception of its place in nature. Darwin's legacy endures as the foundation of modern evolutionary biology, a testament to the power of observation, evidence, and bold intellectual courage. You can download and read this book in PDF from the link given in the descriptions, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel so you can get our upcoming interesting book summaries on a wide range of topics.